Hello, this is Ron from Joaracrafts, and today we're making a special kind of dice involving these pumpkins, clear resin, and then a second pour of green resin with some flocking. You'll see what I mean when we get there. We call this dice set Pumpkin Filled Dice Set because how they look like in the end, it's very descriptive. This is actually a dice set we've dabbled last year with, but now we finally came up with proper way to do it, and we wanted to share that with you. And we'll start by pouring the clear resin for around 20% of each dice in the mold. The reason why we don't fill it up to 50% is because the pumpkins will actually fill a portion of that resin and then the resin will come up, meaning that if I do 50% then the pumpkins will just be completely covered in the resin, and that's not what I want. Now that we fill the clear part of the dice set, we will put the pumpkins facing down and we'll use some tweezers to do that. We just created the pumpkins out of clay. This is Sarah that made the tiny pumpkins, and then I made a mold, and we just cast the pumpkins out of 100% resin, just like we did the dice, but we put some orange mica powder in there to get this very nice and bright orange color to the pumpkins. And then we just paint the tips of the pumpkins. If you want to see how they are done, we actually uploaded a short not long ago, so you can check the link on the description below, or it's gonna be like showing up in the video right about now. Like I mentioned before, when we put too much clear resin in the dice and then we put the pumpkin on top, it's gonna overfill, and here I can just use a pipette to remove the excess resin. With all the fiddling with the resin and removing some more resin, the pumpkins have moved a bit too much, so I'm just tweaking them a bit here to make sure that they're not floating or leaning to one side or anything like that. But yeah, you can just use tweezers for that, and then we're ready to put the dice in the pressure pot. 24 hours, we are ready to check how the pumpkin looks inside of a clear resin casing. And here we go, let's check how the dice look. The D4 had some issues here, so I needed to remove it temporarily, mostly because the clear resin covered the top of the pumpkin. And yeah, basically what I did is just remove the D4 and I took it away. just cut clear resin from the top with some hobby knives or scissors or whatever I had at hand, like something that cuts the resin. And for the second part of the die set, we pour some olive green mica powder into the clear resin we have pre-mixed, and we mix the resin until we get a nice green color in it. Once you have that color mixed, you want to add something that's a bit different from the usual, which is just miniature flocking. And here we mix the flocking with the green, making it less uniform of a color. And once we're done mixing the green resin with the flocking, we just put it on top of the first part of the dice set. So now we'll have the clear resin already hardened, and we put the green bit of the resin on top. And this should make the dice look like a pumpkin on a field, which is the whole idea of the dice set. And now we just pour the green resin on the mold, filling it up completely. I also like to put some resin on the lid just to make sure that there's no bubbles on the numbers. And once you're happy with the amount of resin on the mold, should be like just fill the dice itself and the lid a bit, then you can make sure that you close it without any bubbles inside. And yeah, we are now ready to put this dice set in the last 24 hours in the pressure pot. So making these dice takes around 48 hours just to get the curing process done. But yeah, that's how it goes. Let's get to do some sanding now. These dice are not painted with white, even though it looks like it, it's painted with red bone. As usual, you can use any kind of brush for this, the one that you have just around, and it's like the oldest with any kind of tip. And once you've painted all the numbers, it's possible that there's some fails here and there and the numbers are not completely painted. That's fine, you can always go paint over it, and that's fine. And after that you can start cleaning the dice from the excess paint. In this case I'm using just a microfiber cloth with some alcohol and rubbing the numbers quite well, and that will give the dice a nice shine in the end. And if you think that the pumpkins look cute and that they look good so far, leave us a comment down in the comment section, and if you know someone who might like pumpkins in their dice, share this video with them and yeah, see what they think about it. We like to hear what people have to say about our creations all the time. So yeah, just share and like and even subscribe to our channel if you want to keep an eye on what we do. And that's the last bit of cleanup remaining to do, and then the dice will be done. As you can see, the dice are looking like pumpkins on a field, just like the name of the dice set is meant to describe. the dice have the pumpkin inside. They have the clear coating on top. They look very shiny and very easy to read with these numbers. This one, the D6, actually ended up looking like it's floating a bit, and it's fine. I mean, it can be a bit haunted sometimes. It's sometimes a bit tricky to get the pumpkins to lay on the field, and I think that's also part of the fun sometimes to have the thing where the dice kind of make you look at them and you're like, huh, that's funny. And yeah, I really like how these dice turn out. They look very cute with the pumpkins inside. And yeah, that's all there is to it. Now it's time to do some dice rolls and glamour shots. And that's how the pumpkin-filled dice are made. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. And may your dice keep on rolling well. Until next time, bye bye.